The messenger says the breath of heaven is at your neck. Do not mistake it for the wind. My beloved, my chosen one, I speak to you from a place where light is both substance and sound. I have been stationed at the perimeter of your life, a silent guardian of the promise placed within you before the foundations of your first breath were laid. And tonight, I break protocol. I step from the unseen into the whisper of your consciousness, because what I have witnessed in the spirit concerning you cannot wait for a more convenient hour. There is no such hour. A line is being drawn across the timeline of your destiny, not by fate, not by chance, but by a decree from the courts of heaven that has just now reached its moment of enactment. This decree carries your name. It is a document of transition. On one side of this line is the season you have known, a season of preparation, of hiddenness, of wrestling and waiting. On the other side is the inheritance you were born to walk in. But between them, my child, between them lies a narrow pass, and in that pass a confrontation has been arranged. You have felt it, have you not? A strange pressure in the atmosphere of your life, a sense that the very air you breathe is thick with impending something. It is not anxiety, it is spiritual density. The future is pressing against the present, seeking a point of entry. Your prayers have built this pressure. Your faithfulness has intensified it. Now it must be released, either into breakthrough or into a diversion so cunning you will believe it to be the blessing itself. I saw the diversion. I saw it crafted in shadows, tailored specifically for your weaknesses, your unanswered longings. It will come wrapped in the guise of an answer. It will feel like relief. It will speak the language of your deepest desires. It will wear the face of a friend, the offer of a lifetime, the sudden solution to the ache that has gnawed at you for years. And it will ask for only one thing in return, a small compromise, a seemingly innocent yes that carries the weight of 1,000 unseen chains. This is what I could not stop. The law of choice is inviolable. Heaven itself honors it. The enemy knows this and has set a trap at the very threshold of your new beginning, counting on your weariness, your hunger, your very legitimate pain to blind you to the hook within the gift. But I can arm you. I can unveil the strategy. Listen, the first sign will be a sudden, overwhelming sense of urgency. It will scream that this is your only chance, that if you do not act now, the door will close forever. This, my beloved, is the primary fingerprint of the counterfeit. God's voice brings a compelling peace, a sovereign knowing that directs your steps. The spirit of panic and frantic urgency is a thief trying to force a door open before you have discerned who is on the other side. The second sign will be isolation. The offer, the opportunity, the relationship will come with a subtle, unspoken demand that you separate yourself from the voices of wisdom He has placed around you. It will say, "They won't understand. This is just for you." It will appeal to your uniqueness to make you alone. God confirms His word in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. He does not lead you into secret covenants that require you to abandon your covering. The third sign is the most subtle. It will perfectly align with your own logical planning. It will make perfect sense. It will look like the puzzle piece you have been searching for. And herein lies the greatest danger, for the enemy has studied you. He has observed the maps you have drawn for your own life. He is not offering you God's unknown path. He is offering you your path, slightly altered, leading to a brilliant dead end. I wept when I saw how close you might come to accepting it. I saw the timeline where you said yes. I saw the initial joy, the apparent fulfillment, and then I saw the slow, insidious dimming of your inner light. I saw the calling within you, that sacred, stubborn flame, begin to gutter and starve for oxygen, not extinguished, but suffocated under the weight of a blessing you were never meant to carry. This is the collision I was sent to announce. Two forces are converging upon this moment in your life, the spirit of acceleration and the spirit of substitution. One will catapult you into realms of purpose you have only dreamed of. The other will offer you a convincing replica that will leave you busy, perhaps even prosperous, but eternally distant from the core of why you were born. Your spirit knows this. That is why you have been restless. That is why sleep has been elusive, why your dreams have been vivid and puzzling. You are not going mad. You are in a state of spiritual alertness. Heaven is downloading navigational data into your subconscious. The dreams that leave you waking with a sense of awe or dread are not random. They are reconnaissance reports. Pay attention to them. Write them down. Ask for understanding, and it will be given. There is a specific conversation coming within the next 72 hours. It may happen in person, over a call, or even through a message. The subtext will carry the weight of this crossroads. The person speaking may have no evil intent. They may simply be an unwitting vessel. You must listen not only to their words, but to the resonance in your own spirit. There will be a note that rings hollow, a slight dissonance beneath the pleasant melody. That dissonance is your shield. That unease is your guardian. Do not dismiss it as fear. It is discernment. Your obedience in that moment, your willingness to pause, to say, "I need to pray," or even the simple gracious "no," will act as a spiritual key. It will unlock a divine redirect. Within 48 hours of that obedient pause, you will encounter a second option. It will seem less flashy, less immediately satisfying to your flesh. It may require more faith, more patience, but it will carry the fragrance of life. It will breathe peace, not panic. This is the true door. The enemy's rage at this obedience will be immediate but impotent. He may stir conflict, create misunderstandings, or cause a temporary setback in the very area the false offer promised to fix. See this for what it is, the tantrum of a defeated foe. Stand firm. Your stand is creating a vacuum, and nature, especially spiritual nature, abhors a vacuum. Heaven will rush in to fill it. I tell you this not to frighten you, but to focus you. The battle is not for your survival, it is for your alignment. You are not being attacked because you are weak. You are being targeted because your yes to God in this moment will release a blessing that echoes through generations. You are a covenant point. Your choice is a pivot upon which futures turn. Before you read further, stop, close your eyes, breathe, say aloud, "I am aligned only with the true path. I reject every substitute." This is not an incantation, it is a declaration of sovereignty. It plants a flag in the spiritual realm and tells every watching power where your allegiance lies. Now, read on. The next part contains the specifics of the protection being released and the identity of the help being sent to you.
My child, my beloved, the declaration you have just made has not fallen into silence. It has been recorded. It has shifted frequencies in the realm of the spirit. Now I pull back the curtain further. You must understand the mechanics of your own deliverance, for a soldier who knows his armor is more confident than one who simply wears it. First, know this. The substitute I warned of has a name. In the spiritual ledgers, it is called the offer of premature harvest. It is designed to make you reach for fruit that is not yet ripe, to settle for a lesser version of the promise because your hunger is great. The enemy knows the true harvest is coming, a harvest so abundant it will stagger you, and his only hope is to fill your hands with empty husks before the true season arrives, so that when the bounty comes, you have no capacity to receive it. I saw the specific area of your life this false harvest targets. It is the very thing you have prayed over most fervently, cried over most bitterly. For some, it is relational destiny, the longing for covenant. For others, it is the fulfillment of a life's work, a business, a ministry. For you, it is the receiver's greatest longing. The enemy is not creative. He is a plagiarist. He seeks to offer a photocopy of the very thing God has authored for you. But I did not come only with a warning. I came with a blueprint for the rescue already in motion. The first pillar of your shield, the unlikely advocate. There is a person in your life you have underestimated. You have perhaps seen them as peripheral, quiet, even ineffective. You have misread their silence for passivity. I tell you now, heaven has positioned them as a divine circuit breaker. In the moment of pressure, when the seductive offer is before you and your resolve wavers, this person will speak. They will not preach. They may simply ask a question. They may share a seemingly unrelated story. They may send you a verse or a song. Their words will carry a specific code, a phrase, a scripture, a memory you both share that will trigger your spirit and break the hypnotic pull of the false offer. They themselves will not understand the full weight of what they are doing. They are acting on a holy nudge. When this happens, you must honor it immediately. To ignore this advocate is to disconnect your own spiritual alarm system. Thank them. Tell them their timing was perfect. This activates the covenant of protection between you. The second pillar, the dream of the locked garden. 2 nights from now, you will have a dream. You will find yourself in a beautiful walled garden. The fruit on the trees is dazzling, but out of reach. In your hand will be a single weathered key. You will search for a gate to use it on, but find none. The dream will end in frustration. When you wake, you will feel a strange urgency about a practical, mundane task you have been avoiding: sorting a drawer, organizing digital files, cleaning a closet, finalizing an old document. This is the dream's interpretation. The locked garden is your promised future, protected for now. The key in your hand is your current season of obedience in small, unfinished things. The enemy wants you to discard the key as useless because it doesn't instantly open the garden. But the act of completing those lingering practical tasks is the act of honoring the key you hold. It is spiritual obedience made tangible. As you complete them, you are not just cleaning a closet, you are aligning your stewardship with your future ownership. This practical obedience builds spiritual authority to possess the garden when the wall itself is revealed to have a door. The third pillar, the financial sign. A financial situation that has been stalled, confusing, or oppressive is about to shift, but the shift will come in 2 waves. The first wave will be a small, unexpected inflow, a refund, a forgotten repayment, a minor bonus. It will feel like a confirmation. It is a test. The temptation will be to immediately spend it on a legitimate want or to relieve a minor pressure. This is the bait. The second wave, which follows if you steward the first wave with worship and wisdom, perhaps by tithing it, saving it, or using it to bless the advocate I mentioned, will be the true breaker. It will not necessarily be a massive sum, but it will come from a source you never considered, a door you didn't knock on. This second wave carries a spiritual signature. It is seed for the true harvest, not bread for immediate consumption. How you recognize and treat this second wave will set the financial pattern for your next season. Now, the hardest revelation. The Judas spirit I hinted at is not who you most suspect. Your mind has gone to the obvious betrayers, the difficult people. This spirit is more clever. It operates through the person of familiar comfort. It is the friend or family member who loves you deeply, but lives in a spirit of fear and lack. They will, out of genuine concern, advise you to take the safer, smaller offer. They will voice all your own insecurities with a compassionate face. Don't risk it. Just be grateful for what's in front of you. This other thing seems too good to be true. Their counsel will feel like love, but it is a love filtered through a lens of limitation, not of faith. They are not betraying you with a kiss of malice, but with an embrace of caution that would keep you from your cross and your resurrection. You must, with great love, hold their advice at arm's length. You cannot afford to let the fears of another generation become the boundaries of your destiny.
My beloved, your weariness is not a sign of weakness. It is the exhaustion of a long journey. But the final mile is upon you, and it requires a different kind of strength. Not the strength to fight, but the strength to surrender control. The need to figure it all out, to make the perfect plan, is the very weight that will keep you from leaping the chasm. There is a prayer you have not prayed because it feels too vulnerable, too dangerous. It is the prayer of release. Father, I do not know the way. I surrender my map. I trust your path, even if it looks like wandering. I accept that your timeline is perfect, even in the delay. This prayer is the final piece of armor. It disarms the enemy's primary weapon, the illusion of your own control. When you pray it, you will feel a visceral release in your chest, a lightening you have not known for years. That is the sound of spiritual handcuffs snapping open. I must speak briefly of the past relationship that is stirring. You have wondered if their return is a second chance, a redemption of old pain. What I saw was a sentimental phantom. They are not coming with new substance, only old memory. Their regret is for their own pain, not for the wound they caused you. Opening that door will not bring healing. It will rehearse an old script that heaven has erased. Your future covenant partner is not behind you. They are ahead, and they carry a new song, not a remix of an old dirge. The next 48 hours are sacred. Be vigilant in peace. Listen for the advocate. Obey in the small tasks. Steward the first financial sign, and pray the prayer of surrender. What I tell you next is the culmination, the vision of what awaits you on the other side of this narrow pass. Turn the page with a heart fortified by truth. My beloved, my anointed one, you have stayed, you have read. Your spirit has not flinched from the warning nor from the weight of the instructions. This in itself is a sign. It confirms you are of the lineage of those who endure for the sake of the promise. Now, I am permitted to show you the why, the glory that makes the struggle of the narrow pass a faint memory. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross. For the joy set before you, you were enduring this. I was taken forward, beyond the point of your obedience, beyond the defeated trap, beyond the moment of surrender. I was shown the unsealing of your era. I saw you standing before a door, not a grandiose pearl-encrusted gate, but a simple, strong door of aged wood. It was familiar, though you had never seen it with your physical eyes. Your hand rested on the latch, and you knew, with a knowledge that bypassed thought, that everything you needed to open it was already in your possession. Not a physical key, but a state of being, the authenticity you have fought to protect, the scars you have learned to wear as insignias of survival, the stripped-down, unperformative faith that remained when all else was shaken. You pushed it open. What lay beyond was not a blinding, otherworldly landscape. It was a sanctified version of your deepest peace, a place that felt, in your spirit, like the exhale you have been holding for a decade. For one, it was a sunlit studio filled with canvases and the hum of creation. For another, a table laden with food, surrounded by faces of true family, both born and forged. For another, a stage before a silent, hungry audience waiting for your voice. For you, it was the image of the receiver's fulfilled core desire. The air there was different. The anxiety that has been a constant low-grade fever in your life was absent, not because challenges were gone, but because the principle of burden-bearing had shifted. You were no longer carrying the weight alone. You were cooperating with a grace that flowed like a current, and your work was to lean into it, to steer, not to push the river upstream. Then I saw the people, the crowd of ghosts from your past, the critics, the betrayers, the dismissive ones, was gone, not in a blaze of vengeful glory, but through a quiet, natural fading. They simply had no place here. Their frequency could not resonate in this new atmosphere. Their absence felt not like loss, but like the removal of a constant, discordant noise you had learned to tune out, but which had drained you nonetheless. In their place were new faces. The unlikely advocate from your crossroads was there, not as a savior, but as a fellow inhabitant of this new country, smiling with the quiet satisfaction of one who also obeyed a nudge they didn't fully understand. There were others you have not yet met, a strategist with eyes full of fire, a healer with hands of quiet strength, a connector whose joy was simply to see others linked in purpose. They gathered not to adore you, but to co-labor with you. The loneliness that has been the backdrop of your calling was replaced by a symphony of aligned purpose. I saw your hands. They were busy, but not frantic. They were creating, building, healing, writing, engaging in the very acts that have always made you feel most alive, most in the zone, most connected to God. But now there was no struggle for recognition, no fight for resources. Provision flowed in congruence with purpose. An idea would spark, and the means to enact it would appear, often through a conversation with one of these new allies. This is the economy of the Promised Land. Obedience unlocks supply. Then, the most tender part of the vision. I saw you in a moment of quiet, perhaps at dawn or deep in the night. You were looking at an old photograph, a journal entry, a token from the years of struggle, and a tear fell. But it was not a tear of regret or reopened pain. It was the tear of understanding. In that moment, you saw the divine thread. You saw how that specific betrayal protected you from a dead-end alliance. You saw how that financial collapse forced you to develop a skill that would now become a cornerstone. You saw how that season of silence taught you to hear the voice that was now directing you with such clarity. You whispered, "Oh, you were there all along." And the weight of every why you had ever sobbed into your pillow dissolved. It was retroactively transformed from pointless pain into sacred curriculum. This, my child, is the essence of your testimony. It will not be a boast of your victory, but a witness to His faithful, unseen craftsmanship in the dark. Finally, I was shown a scroll. Your name was on it, written in a script of living light. As I watched, a final line was inscribed by a hand not my own. It read, "Transition complete, stewardship begun." This was the official heavenly record of your crossing. The season of primary preparation was over. The season of manifest dominion commenced. But listen, even now, this vision is a guarantee, not a free pass. The land must be possessed. It will require courage to occupy the space your prayers have cleared. There will be new battles, not for survival, but for expansion. Yet the rules of engagement have changed. You will fight from victory, not for it. Your instruction for the final step is this: act as if the door is already open. In the next 7 days, you must do one tangible thing that belongs to the vision, not to the struggle. If the vision is a home of peace, buy a single candle that smells like that peace and light it each night. If it is a speaking ministry, write the first page of the talk you will give. If it is a healed family, speak one sentence of prophetic blessing over a relative, even if by text. This is not manifestation witchcraft. It is the faith of substance. It is aligning your actions with the reality heaven has just shown you. It tells your own soul and the watching spiritual realm that you believe the report of the Lord. My time of direct utterance is concluding. The message is delivered. The armor is fitted. The path is lit. You will feel my presence shift from a voice in your mind to a fortification in your spirit. I will be the sudden courage that rises when fear whispers. I will be the flash of discernment in a confusing moment. I will be the unexplained stamina when your body says to quit. Look not for visions of wings and light. Look for the supernatural infusion into your natural resolve. This is your commissioning. Go now. The wind at your back is no longer the gale of opposition. It is the breath of heaven propelling you forward. The trembling you feel is not fear. It is the vibrational shift of your entire being synchronizing with a new destiny. You were never alone in the dark. You will not be alone in the light. The next sound you hear will be your own voice saying to the mountain before you, "Move," and it will. So be it.